Richie, Bulletin Broadheads. How's everybody doing? I'm going to have a new series of videos coming out, the shooting series. It's basically, if you're hitting low left, low high right, low right, high left, how to correct it. Most of today's firearms are pretty accurate right out of the box. And most of the, I hear all the time at the range, this gun shooting low left, this gun shooting high right. Most times it's really not the gun, it's the shooter. So I'm going to give a couple of tips of what's happening. Today we're going to be doing shooting low left and what's the common mistakes people are making, why you're shooting low left consistently. Alright? So it's a very common mistake. A lot of people make it. So low left is probably one of the biggest ones. And that's basically caused by jerking the trigger. Now before we go any further, I just want to state that in these series of videos, my fingers will be on the trigger. All guns are safety checked. All guns are empty. I never have live ammo in my videos. If I do, I say it and I clear the weapon and I do not put my finger on the trigger. So everybody's concerned with me having my finger on the trigger during these series. Everything is unloaded. All my guns are unloaded. Okay, so low left. What's the biggest cause of that? It's really from jerking the trigger. So if you have your finger on the trigger and you jerk the trigger, the gun has a tendency to go low left. So jerking the trigger is the biggest cause of shooting low left. And to correct this, it's really just trigger control. If you have your finger on the trigger and you have your index pad in the right position, you have to practice squeezing the trigger the same amount every time. And practicing a dry fire is a good way to solve that problem. Now, one of the biggest things people at the range when I'm teaching somebody, they say, I'm not jerking the trigger. Now, the way to prove they are is to put a dummy round in there. And I do that a lot of times. I always have a dummy round with me of whatever gun they're shooting, 9mm, 45, whatever. And I sneak one in there. Or I put it as the first round. And you can see them jerking the trigger. So, dummy rounds are really useful, especially teaching. So if you're shooting low left, it's usually caused by jerking the trigger, and that's the biggest mistake of a consistent low left. Okay, so you'll see what your sight alignment, and when you jerk the trigger, if you jerk it with your hand, just jerk the trigger, and you'll see your gun dip low left. So it's basically trigger control. When the bullet leaves the barrel, it's almost an anticipation of the recoil, and it's just jerking the trigger. It's just a matter of getting proper trigger control. So low left, very common problem. It's easy to fix. It's just trigger control. That's why if you get a new gun, master the trigger. I mean, it's very hard to go to the range with a 1911 with a sweet trigger and go to like a revolver with a long double action. I mean, your trigger control is not going to be that good. It's just muscle memory. That's why it's good to practice with your carry guns the most, because you really want to master that trigger. I mean, I'm going to have another video on some stuff like that. But low left, very easy to control. It's really just a matter of jerking your trigger and learning trigger control. So, easy way to fix that. Okay, that's my first part of the series. I have another part coming up soon, so take care, guys.